Woody had gone right to the police, this would never have happened.
Uh-oh.
So, there are liberties being taken, like, there's going to be an increased amount of shit talk.
Oh, I have to remind myself I'm here willingly.
Catch one with a little bit of attitude, big guy?
Man, you champion son.
It's a kangaroo court.
What do you mean how is the NFL a kangaroo court?
Could you please let me explain why?
No, I don't want to hear this garbage. Give me an answer to the questions I asked you.
What the fuck are we doing?
Come on with it, baby!
Thanks, boy.
Italian. I'll talk to you later.
Let's get to the scene.
All right. My undercarriage is sweating.
All right, and welcome into another edition of the Third and Manageable Podcast. I am your host, Matt Diegert. As always, to my left, right, center, forward, backward, whatever, is Student Body Right.
Yo!
And he's right there. And we want to welcome you into a nice show tonight here and really take the time to, you know, talk about the season past and everything else. Since we kind of have like an off week, you know, I don't want to call it an off week, but nobody's playing. So what's the point?
I don't know. I think us being back at the Shorecliff Manor is playing with your emotions, because I think you're having an off day, Matt. I think you're being a little bit of a douche. You're kind of like, you're a little fired up, which I get it. End of the season,
just a little bit.
End
just
of the
a
season,
little bit.
We're working out the kinks, man. Anyway, we got a pretty good show, and the Bills are in the driver's seat for the second position, knowing that the Chiefs are in the first. And we come out of a wild week, of which we'll touch on, of completely dismantling what's left of Aaron Rodgers' career. And he had, Matt, he had a day in the media in the last couple days. I should say he had a week in the media. So we'll touch on that a little bit. We'll get to a little bit of a preview of our game on Sunday versus the New England Patriots. That will be played in Foxborough. We kind of have a pretty good idea who's playing, who's sitting, as well as all the usual segments: Off the Rack, Why You Suck, and The Peak in the Pit. Matt, time to play the Bills. Who are we sponsored by?
We are sponsored by Elliott Apollo's, 3785 South Park Avenue, Blaisdell, New York, 14219. Definitely check them out for some of the best Italian food in Western New York. We are sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. We are sponsored by Sons of Erie. We are sponsored by Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools. We are sponsored by Fubo TV, and we are sponsored by FanDuel, the official sportsbook of Dew Champions. We are sponsored by W.GG, the official energy drink of Dew Champions. Who am I forgetting? Anybody?
Sons of Erie.
Talked them. Didn't miss them tonight.
No.
Probably because I'm staring at about 7 different pictures.
I'm sorry. I have another successful company, Matt. That's on me, Coach. Anyway, so we're going to get right into it. The Buffalo Bills are taking on the New England Patriots this Sunday, a 3-13 New England Patriots team for the season finale. That's going to kick off at Gillette Stadium at 1 p.m. Maddie, we got the CBS crew. And in terms of the injury reports, kind of been out all week, and we'll have your referee report tomorrow at 5 p.m. Once again, thank you guys for sponsoring that. Thank you guys for all the retweets and stuff like that. Matt, I don't think we put out a referee report that hasn't done over, for us, like 10, 15K views. Mm-hmm. And they're bang on. And we saw a referee laundry show last week. Matt, how integral was that report, and how bang on was it?
I mean, it was within it was within a couple of flags. I mean, it was within a couple of flags, and it's
people were stunned. We weren't.
No, and that's the thing. Like, we were expecting it. We called it before it, said to be ready for a lot of laundry, and there was, I think, 9 flags in the first quarter itself.
Yeah, it's almost like it was sponsored by Tide, man. Yeah. It was. You think, you know, sometimes offensive linemen change their jerseys at halftime. You think maybe they changed their flags with all the wear, you know. Those little extra green on those flags for them touching the turf. Yeah, well, you know, and with a lot of flags, that does allocate to sucking up a lot of turf. Thankfully, that did not deter us. That was a complete routing. Hey, were you weirded out about Aaron Rodgers' comments in the media? There was a report that came out that Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams, they probably will be no more next season. Do you think this taints his legacy? And let's talk about the owner, Woody Johnson. This is an anomaly year. It's kind of an enigma.
It's really not, though.
It's kind of an enigma.
It's really not, though.
It's an enigma in that
I know.
In that he fired the coach. Robert Saleh halfway through the season. He installed, Jeff Ulbrich is in there. He got rid of the GM. So that's the most lukewarm ticket trying to resurrect that franchise, I think, right now.
Yeah, but I mean, again, like I said before, is who's actually running the show there? Because according to Joe Douglas, it was a teenager that was calling the shots, not Woody Johnson and his grandson. I mean,
you don't put any credence in that, do you?
I 100% do. Because there's a GM is not going to come out in the media and say that I was vetoed on a trade because his Madden rating was too low. Like that's,
I don't know, maybe something
that's going a little bit far.
Most unserious team in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
Most unserious,
100%,
most unserious team in the NFL. Is it weird? Yes. But that's a lukewarm ticket there. I mean, at this point, like Woody Johnson, like he's taking different steps. Aaron Rodgers is already almost negotiating his way out. Maybe he'll play out like Brett Favre, three teams once he leaves Green Bay, and one of those was the Jets.
Hey, maybe the Vikings get rid of Sam Darnold and trade away J.J. McCarthy, or bring in Aaron Rodgers to mentor J.J. McCarthy, and he could follow the exact Brett Favre path.
Who do you think is who thinks doing the mentoring? Do you think Bo Nix is mentoring Zach Wilson, or Zach Wilson is mentoring?
Depends on what part is it on the field, or are we talking off the field?
I don't know. I don't know. Bo Nix has got a pretty normal, decent looking girlfriend, and I'm pretty sure Zach Wilson is just on a weird.
He's just dating all the moms. Yeah, it's weird.
Are they Mormon moms?
I at this point, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked.
Whatever. I mean, whatever. Maybe that's what Joseph Smith did. Who knows? But anyway, to get back to the more serious stuff, the New England Patriots. It's under first-year head coach.
I mean,
Mayo.
they played us very well last time. Sorry,
Jerron Mayo. The Patriots faced. It's a challenging season. 3-13. You got Drake May, who was a little banged up last week. Jerron Mayo, another player. In that Belichick coaching tree that really hasn't worked out. You got Vrabel, you got Bill O'Brien, you got Josh Daniels. Who else? Matt Patricia. That Bill Belichick coaching tree is not super amazing.
No, I would say Vrabel's probably the best of the bunch.
Even Dable's struggling. Dable was tight end coach there.
Yeah. I mean, but he didn't his first year. What really gets me is they kind of tagged themselves to Daniel Jones rather than try and figure a way out of him.
Well, I don't know if they did, because that is Daniel Jones was going to be the first guy out. Joe Shane got in there and he inherited Daniel Jones. Okay, he did not inherit Brian Dable. Brian Dable was his bring-in. So anybody to say that Brian Dable was going to be on
didn't they sign him to that contract at the first year that they were there?
I don't think that's the biggest contract woe there. It was letting go Saquon Barkley. So yes, there was some hindsight is 20/20, my friend. But anything like that. So anyway, with a loss from the Patriots here, they pretty much all but lock up the number 1 pick in the NFL draft in the 2025 season. The Bills obviously secured number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. This would boast us to 14-3. And McDermott's,
I actually don't think the Bills are going to win this game. Which would be the funniest thing of the entire, let the Patriots run up the damn score at this point. Who cares?
Well, for what I just said about them, if they lose, securing that, maybe there is some credence there.
That's kind of what I was getting
but
at.
I thought it was kind of cool, and I thought it was kind of different. I didn't think they were going to bring it out in the media that Josh Allen wants to start because he works hard to play every single game. So if you're not familiar with what we're talking about here, Matt, you can take it over. What Josh is projecting.
And I've said this for 2 weeks, or two or 3 weeks now, that I really thought that, leading up to this final game, Josh was going to go through warmups. He was going to play minimum a snap to a series, because it's very important to him is that consecutive starting streak, because again, we say it all the time, the best ability
is availability.
And that's what Josh even said in the media today, or this week, is that he wants to continue proving to these guys that even if he's a little banged up, even if he's a little hurt, even if he's a little sick, a little whatever, he's going to be there for them and be able to go for them no matter what, and that's what he wants to show.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. Minus, I know you're being hyperbolic. It's not going to be one snap. I think it'll be 2 series. He doesn't want it by default.
No, I think it's going to be 1 series, but I think it's.
So we signed Mike White.
Yes.
So Mike White to a 1-year extension. Mitch Trubisky is also tethered to a 1-year contract too. So, but anyway, to kind of round this out, it's the Patriots offense versus a humming Bills defense, and a humming Bills offense versus I don't know what the fuck we're getting with the Patriots, bro. Spread Bills favored by 3 points. Money line minus 162 for the Bills, plus 136 for the Patriots. Over under 36.5. What do you think about that over under?
They're thinking that it's going to be a cold game, a snowy game, a run first game. They don't think Mitch and Drake May are going to be able to put up points. I would highly bet the over on that game. I would probably all the way up to I would probably go all the way up to about 42 and a half.
Yep, here first. Taking the over on that. I do like that as well. You got to remember Mitch Trubisky. He was a starting quarterback last year. Mitch Trubisky throws a tunnel screen to no guy who's more deserving than to get in the end zone than Shavers. And they admonished him after the game with the game ball.
Yep.
So I think that's great. In all the things I said, I do like the Bills for 3. And if you want to throw in a spicy parlay, Mitch Trubisky to score. I don't think our offense changes 1 iota. Now, there is a storyline that we can break the NFL record with 14 different players scoring. You know who I think it's going to be?
I really do. I know.
On the count of 3, ready? It's initials. 1, 2, 3.
AA. Yeah, I would not be
1, 2, 3.
AA. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked.
Tommy Doyle did it.
If it's an offensive lineman, whether it is AA or Vandermark or just one of the guys that has been there. I think it's a good, not necessarily a good way to reward them, but I mean it's let's.
How many people can you name right now that scored? Josh?
Well, no, different touchdowns, different touchdown receptions. So technically, Josh, yes.
No, yeah, Josh.
Because he caught one from himself.
Q
Morris, Josh Allen,
Ty Johnson,
Matt Collins, Ty Johnson, James Cook, Amari Cooper,
Knox Kincaid,
Ray Davis,
Keon.
We need 3 more. Who else?
Samuels.
Curtis Samuel. 2 more.
Ray Davis.
I set him. Who else? Tyrell Shavers.
There's one more.
There's one more, and I can't remember who it is. But honestly, I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to end up being. Thank you, Don. It's Shakir.
Khalil Shakir. Oh yeah, thank you, Don. Did Don? Yeah, put that up there. Khalil Shakir.
I think it's going to be KJ Hamler.
I think.
Who's
our backup tight end?
Zach Davidson. But he's on the practice squad. He would have to be signed.
Did he get elevated or not?
He can't get elevated. He's been elevated 3 times.
So he has to be signed to the roster.
Correct.
So do you think you'll see any Mike White on it?
I think he's literally there just for insurance because you don't want to just have the 2 guys there in Mitchell Trubisky and Josh Allen, and Mitchell Trubisky get hurt in the first series he comes in for Josh, and then Josh just have to play the rest of the game. At that point, you're just handing the ball off to Ray Davis and Ty Johnson and just saying, "Hey guys, finish the game." Like, Josh, or put maybe an emergency quarterback in there. Have Matt Collins go in there or something. I don't know.
One of the pundits that on a network that I don't consume a ton of their content, and this is kind of why, said this is going to be a big day for guys setting up next year, like in our offensive line, like a Ryan Vandermark and like a Shavers and stuff like that. Yo, dog, you've been watching the game. Everybody eats. Vandy's been in there forever. AA's been in there forever. Q's been in there forever. Reggie Gilliam is like damn near close to our leading like punt kick coverage tackler. I wonder what some people watch sometimes. Not to dunk on anybody specifically, but just
No, I don't like that take whatsoever. I mean, because Vander Mark's the 7th offensive lineman. Alec Anderson is got it in my brain. I don't know why. I do know why, but
keep it moving, lad. Anyway,
no. But what I'm saying though is, Alec Anderson is the 6th offensive lineman, and he's their power guy. He's the guy who comes in when they
jumbo.
They go jumbo.
Now he's going in motion. Yo, we're running duo.
Duo motion.
We're running duo out of the motion. How scary is that enterprise?
I mean, you get him moving as a tight end, and he's coming to block you.
I mean, it doesn't matter. He's going upfield no matter what.
Yeah.
If he's got an opportunity to finish a block, like pancakes are, they still have offensive line incentives in that locker room.
Absolutely.
You deliver a pancake, it's still $1,000.
Absolutely.
So anyway, this is the 131st meeting between the two teams. Patriots leads the series 78-51, largely predicated on their dominance in the 2000s, and have won 37 of the last 49 since 2000. However, in recent matchups, man, we've taken care of business.
Yeah,
so.
since what, Josh's 2nd year, we've basically not lost to them except for the.
Yeah, I would say officially, as they say, the AFC East runs through Orchard Park as early as Josh's 2nd year. So Matt, it's a game that I think means a lot in terms of getting healthy and tune-ups. And just closing out the division. I really didn't feel like the division was closed out on our accord based on when we won it. We still had 3 or 4 AFC East games to play by the time it was the earliest
we had
ever closed.
3. We had 3 left because we locked everything up basically week 14, week 13. I mean that's pretty early to lock everything up. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying is like I'd like to see them close it out a strong way.
I would like to see that too, but I mean I'm also of the mind, like I said before, I'd like to see the Patriots win just so that they're not because they're not going to take a quarterback. They're going to get most likely Travis Hunter, who's probably one of the best prospects in the draft, probably one of the best prospects to come out since Deion Sanders. In that form.
So here's a good segue. Anyway, this is sponsored by Sons of Erie. This is called, Maddie, say it with me.
Here's why you suck.
Here's why you suck, Matty Diegert. Matty Diegert, this is why you suck, a segment where I go through all the tapes of all the asinine, upside down and backwards things Maddie has predicted on this podcast. Maddie, the last one of the regular season, here's why you suck, and I think you know why. You made a prediction in the preseason. You made a bet in the preseason with the almighty Thigh Doctor MD.
Yeah, I got to do a dance.
He's got to do the dance, and
Yep.
That dance is predicated on. You want to hit a little one right now?
Nope.
Okay, try Thigh Doctor. I tried. Anyway, it was predicated on how many sacks?
10.5.
10.5 sacks for Vaughn Miller. Where is he? He got one last week, but where is he? Where's he clocking in right now?
He has 5. He has 5.
5.
He needs one more for a $1.5 million incentive, but definitely I don't think he's gonna get 6. Like I don't think he's gonna get 6. I mean, trust me, I would be dancing all up and down the streets if he did, but
he's not gonna get 6.
Absolutely
so
not.
that is why you suck, Matt. Just an absolute bet. I told you not to take. Hey,
it was a fun bet.
Okay,
It's not
you're
like
on mute now. Now it's time for me to talk. Here's why you suck. I told you not to take it. I told you that it would have been better if you bet something monetarily, because I know how bad you don't want to do a thigh dance. So anyway, unmuted, Matt. Here's why you suck. Spinning it back to me, Matt. Tell me why I suck.
Well, here is why you suck, student. Yes, I know. You suck because you always point at me to do things.
You suck on the camera, fucking loser.
I mean, it's not my first job. I'm sorry. But no, but
they're bad predictions.
the 16-10 every week. I know why you do it, but that is definitely why you suck.
Okay. It is a pussy move.
It is. It's the same. Oh, I'm going to predict the game the same every week.
Yeah. And the reason I do it is because I truly have no handle on, because those Jaguar games just haunt my brain. like the 6-3s, the 10-6s, and all that stuff. But I do the 16-10s. I'll accept that. That wise you suck. Anyway, that is a segment sponsored by. Oh, okay.
Hold on.
Tell me.
Before we go though, it's kind of funny though because
I'll be the judge of that.
the last couple of times the Bills have beaten the Chiefs.
You always bring that up, which is cool.
First time, the one time in the first game in the Sean McDermott era, when Trey White intercepted Alex Smith to close out the game. That game finished 16-10, and then also a game in the early 2010s, also against the Chiefs, was 16-10 finals.
Well, I have had 17 attempts this year, and I haven't gotten close.
No.
And that is in part due to a very high-powered offense and
31.8 points a game. I mean, that's
so you said it here. I won't do 16-10 for this one. But Matt, if I could get your score prediction now that we're here with this, mine for this game is going to be 27-21, and that is going to be a Patriots win. Maddie, your prediction?
I actually have this. I have it 31-17 Patriots.
Interesting. Okay. Bang, bang, bang. Maddie, pay a little bills. If you could report who were we sponsored by?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are sponsored by Iliad Apollo's Fat Boy Surf Club. We are sponsored by Larden Construction. We are sponsored by Fubo TV's FanDuel. Sons of Erie.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I got to go through my brain, man. It's. I have bills. I'm talking bills, and then you make me switch to
pay the bills. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fubo TV, FanDuel, W.GG, Fubo, Fat Boy Surf Club, Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools, and that's it.
Very good. And to pivoting off this, Maddie, we're gonna go to a very good segment of mine, which I love, the P and the P. Matt, tell me what about it is. It is the Peak.
And the Pit.
The Peak of the Pit. That is sponsored by Iliad Apollo's. The Peak of the Pit. What is the peak of which we have to ascend to all but guarantee a Bills victory? And what is the pit in our stomach of which could result in a Bills loss? Matt, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is a weird one for this week, but I honestly think that the peak kind of goes back to the running back room this week. Because they're going to be handing the ball off a lot this week. Not necessarily getting Mitch Trubisky too much work with his arm or anything like that, but I think the running back room is going to be what's going to have to go as the Bills go this week.
So you think the running back room is the peak?
Yes.
For this to ascend the Bills victory. Mm-hmm. Okay, for my peak, I am going to go with just everybody staying safe, everybody staying healthy. Don't get out of there with just an annoying defensive injury. I don't think we're going to be calling too many flash tunnel screens and everything like that where we can get people horse collared and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think we can more carry us getting out of there a little bit unbanged up on the offensive side, much less than we have control of. I think some of our defensive starters, we don't have the luxury of just sitting as many plug-and-play players as we can on offense. So I think the peak and the pit is, the peak is getting out of there unscathed to secure our best foot forward in the playoffs. The pit in my stomach is that someone on defense, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see a Tre'Davious White type injury like in a game a couple years ago when they were blowing out the Dolphins and he's in there with like 5 minutes left in the game for no reason whatsoever and goes backwards in his back pedal and puts his knee over top of his foot and tears his AC or his Achilles.
Yeah. Absolutely. And to go with that peak of the pit and talk about defensive injuries, we're going to flip right now to a player that we got back last week, a player by the name of Taylor Rapp. This is Off the Rack, sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Off the Rack. Hey, if you want to be outfitted and look like guys like Spencer Brown, like Ron and Vandermark, like our boy AA, while he hopefully scores that touchdown this weekend. Look up Fat Boy Surf Club and at checkout use code DEW. Once again, www.fatboysurfclub.com. At checkout use code DEW for 20% off. Once again, Matt, this is Off the Rack, where during the game, Maddie and I get out the pen and the pad and we text each other and we write things down about equipment changes that we think are necessary. Equipment changes that further prove the synergy between our training staff and our equipment room. Maddie, what did we notice this week out of Mr. Taylor Rapp.
Yeah, I mean, there's something there. I mean, bringing it up on screen is the Douglas neck roll. You kind of said something a couple weeks ago about Spencer Brown. That's the same one, right?
Sure, absolutely. I'm bringing that up right now. Spencer Brown has that bolt-in Douglas power pack neck roll. You see that it's kind of one that protects against stingers, protects against bangers and mash. Obviously, Taylor Rapp is not of the same stature as a 6'9" corn-fed Northern Iowa boy. But he is using what I believe, and this is just based on my professional acumen, the Douglas Junior neck roll. And that junior neck roll helps to stabilize the helmet, of which, Matt, what is he using on his helmet still?
Yeah, he's still using the Guardian cap on his helmet.
Of course, and he uses what else? The Q collar.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
the junior neck roll helps to stabilize the helmet, to prevent the burners, the stingers, and kind of guard against an injury of which he just came back from. So there you see it. Spencer Brown has the senior offensive lineman, the Douglas big boy power pack neck roll, and you will see that Taylor Rapp is using the Douglas, what I believe, junior
and
roll.
it
I mean,
kinda,
you can't deny that that is a different shoulder pad.
No,
right
absolutely. And on top of that too, I mean, it kind of allows him to go back to throwing his weight around a little bit without having to worry too much about
where he's sticking his head in,
because that's going to protect his neck from going backwards, side to side. Obviously, if it comes forward, there's a different story there. There's no.
yeah, but that's like you could see just like kind of the synergy. I believe, like kind of, with the equipment room. I mean, in that, just in his shoulders and above, man, you got a Q collar. What does a Q collar do?
Q collar, what is it?
Blood,
it stops,
increase
stops
blood,
the blood.
increases.
It increases it. I thought it kind of
Augments it. We'll say
Okay.
augments. We don't have to go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Augments is a perfect non-descriptive verb that I can soundly say that would have helped me on my SATs. I don't know what that was, but anyway. So he uses the Q collar, so he's got a Guardian cap, and then he's got the Douglas Junior roll. So we're really protecting the assets out there because he is a pretty big player. You still got Micah Hyde on the bench. God forbid something goes down.
Mike is not playing.
He's not going to play either.
Mike is not playing this year. I mean, he's
I
not.
don't believe that.
He's not football ready. He's not. I mean,
Something goes
He's
down.
on the practice squad. They'd have to call him up, and
Sure.
I get that they get unlimited, elevations during the playoffs, but I truly don't think. I think that it was just a good druthers kind of type move to put him on the team.
Good locker room guy.
Yeah,
I
good
don't-
locker room guy.
I
Help
don't believe
coach.
I don't believe it's totally that, but I am bagging what you're raking. And to keep with this as well, we do have another one for Spencer Brown, sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Once again, this is the second addendum to Off the Rack. Maddie, tell him what we saw.
Yeah, it's his visor.
It's a whole helmet.
Well, yeah, the helmet too. I mean, or face mask, helmet, everything kind of.
It's an all-in-one helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
What's the helmet?
it's the I don't know how to say it.
Vicious.
Vicious 02 trench. And you can read on the screen all about the helmet. But
Yeah, I mean it's one of the first NFL player-specific helmets for offensive linemen. And Matt, the interesting thing about this one is it's equipped with a titanium face mask, right? You don't see a ton of them. An Oakley clear vision visor, and it has the anchor locks for the chin strap. That's all in just one helmet, non-negotiable.
So as far as the visor goes, with it being Oakley, I mean, is that tinted or is that like
It does have that caramelized kind of pink thing. They do have an insert because you do see them in pregame with the dark visor that can come out. But that's that vicious. I'll bring it up again here. The 02 trench that came out in 2021 with 6 offensive linemen using it. I mean, this thing is the spaceship.
Yeah.
I mean, it is all in one. There's not too many screw-on anchor moving parts in there, but that is one of the top rated safety helmets of which is on the market right now. But we did see that Spencer Brown did switch that helmet. Low velocity impacts, for those heavy repetitive motions. Anyway, this is Off the Rack. That is sponsored by Fat Boy Surf Club. Maddie.
Yes, sir.
this was a great season. It really was.
It's not over yet.
No, I know. But it's something that we always say is what a time you chose to be alive.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool that I can sit across from you and just to see the development of the podcast, these segments, and also what we do on Twitter with the ref report, the injury report. So I just wanted to take some time with it being the new year and just thank you and admonish you for being one of the best partners.
No, thank you. I mean, I couldn't have done any of this without you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate your fandom. You make me a better viewer. You make me more cognizant. There's not too many games that I haven't watched with you. I love filling in all the shows. And I want to shout out Jake. I want to shout out Jesse. I want to shout out Don, Mafia King, Tommy Giambra, the
Will.
Yep.
Brian.
Yep, Zach. The past and the present. Thank you guys. Just a little time. I would thank you guys on the wide. Thank you guys so much. You guys have made this so fun. But with that, Matt, I would just like to say that win or lose tomorrow, we got a fun one, man. We're gonna be at that Super Bowl. Matt, if anybody doesn't know, Matt was the final piece of us getting credentialed into the Super Bowl. So you guys will see us there at Radio Row, regardless if that team is there. As I posed to Jesse this past week, what has been kind of the craziest thing of you starting this media journey with me?
I think it was honestly. I think it was probably just everything we've gone through, all the ups and downs this year. Learning on the fly, personally, professionally, team-wise. I mean, everything. Like having to balance, home life, work life, do life. I mean, no pun intended, or full pun intended on that one, I guess. But
you know what? I think we don't give ourselves enough credit for is balancing home life, work life. But think about all of the good people that we associate ourselves with now. That the Vic Carucci's, the Ryan Talbots, the Eric Woods.
Zero.
Did it again. But seriously, the Eric Woods,
like AJ Epinesa, Alec
AJ
Anderson, all those guys.
Spencer RBD, all the people that really mess with us. We got a friend out at Uncle Bud. Yeah. On Bud Carpenter, Jim Overdorf, Jim Kelly. It's just it kind of feels surreal sometimes that you guys turn up the mic, and we couldn't do it without the team behind us, especially. And I'd like to give a special Christmas shout out to Don. Yeah. Do you see him on the post game report? He's going to be there all playoff season. Don, if you don't follow him, at Do Don 8. Yeah, I mean that is a mafia.
Definitely want to do Don 8.
Yeah, and you do want to follow him. So anyway, Matt, being 32 minutes in, who do you think we were going to draw for this?
Let's touch on a little bit of the the playoffs here before we get into our season awards and stuff like that. I really do think that I almost am tempted to say it's going to be the Dolphins.
Coach Fuller's saying it's not.
I get that. I get their hesitation, everything like that. I definitely don't want it to be the Bengals. Not that I'm scared of them or anything like that, because I think our offense can put up as many points as they can, because their defense is real bad. But for whatever reason, Joe Burrow just carves up the McDermott's defense, Babbage's defense, or whoever you want to call it. I'm not afraid of it, but I'd hate to see the Bills leave after this great season in the wild card round. It's tough, but I honestly think it's going to be the Dolphins. I think that it's going to, I think they're going to end up beating the Jets on Sunday. I think that the spotlight might be too big for Bo Nix, even though it's going to be Carson Wentz, and even though a lot of their players are going to be sitting for the Chiefs. I think the lights might be too bright for him right now in his rookie season, but we will see, because he brought them back. He even though the Bengals were playing as well as they did against them, and they almost, the Broncos had the lead, then lost the lead, and then everything, and then Bo Nix with 8 seconds left in the fourth quarter, on fourth down in the fourth quarter, throws one up to Marvin Mims. He makes a heck of a play on that and ends up tying the game, and they go down and lose in overtime. But I mean, I just think it might be a little bit bright for him. Carson Wentz has been there. He's been through this type of stuff, and he really just. I think the Chiefs are going to end up pulling that victory out.
It's kind of, listen, it's kind of fucking cool that like we have the opportunity to set an NFL record as the only. First of all, we get the most wins in franchise history. We can knock that off, right? With 14 wins. Also, we'd be the only team in the NFL to acquire 2 wins against 15-win teams. That would be predicated on the Lions winning, predicated on the Chiefs winning.
Yeah, well, no, the Chiefs are already at 15 wins.
Oh, sorry. So the Chiefs already locked it. It would be predicated basically just on the Lions winning.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. A lot of records to be set, man.
I mean, what's even cooler, like even if the Chiefs were to win, they have 1 loss. That would be the first time that a team in the regular season has beaten a 16-win team.
Yeah.
Because
that kind of makes me warm.
Because before it was like there was only 17 games or 16 games. And you couldn't go 16-0 and have a loss in the regular season. So I think that would be kind of a cool thing to see happen is the Bills have the win over the 16 win team and a 15-win team.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like smiling at you thinking about that. That is cool.
Yeah.
Matt, I did want to ask you about something before we get into these end of the regular season superlatives. I remember sitting out on our back I guess it is how often you're at the castle of Student here. We were sitting on the lake, and you remember we talk about the core 4 of Dew all the time, but remember we were talking about the core 4 of our receiving corps.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Man, and we were talking. It was on my mind a little bit today. We were talking how Chase Claypool, he was on his last leg of prove it,
and then he got hurt, and then nothing.
Yo, that dog. I looked him up today. How old do you think he is?
I would say 26. Just quick math off the top of my head. He's 26.
Second round pick,
Yep.
26 out of the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah. That's just crazy to me. Like, but it sucks because he got hurt because I think Josh Allen could have done things with him even more.
That's what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in that training camp that you remember like a couple of years ago where we sent Corey Bierman?
Yeah.
What the fuck was that show? It's like Don't Be Tardy.
Something like that, but
it still fucking kills me, dude. It kills me.
Everybody was more worried. Everybody was more excited about his wife,
Kim Zolciak Bierman. I think they're divorced. But anyway, because her shoes ended up on Whatnot or the Real, and this cat, I still remember the Bills tweet. If anybody could find it from Student, it was just Kim Zolciak Bierman won't be tardy for Bills games, and I still go back to that tweet from 2016, 17, 18, and I'm just this is the single worst thing that ever happened to my Twitter feed.
Yeah, and then he didn't even make the team.
No, I mean, it was just. Ugh.
Yeah, talk about because I think that was
talk about it as a fan that we had nothing to root for, and we were getting in any foxhole that would drive season ticket sales.
Yeah, anything.
I'm so happy you're smiling right now because I fucking hate that fucking so much.
Dude, I was so yeah.
So fucking good. But anyway, we're gonna have Dudon pop on in a little second to handle some end of season superlatives. Matt, I know it's not on the docket for end of season superlatives, but what was the play of the year for you? And I don't want to use the playground Amari Cooper, Josh Allen goal line score.
No, absolutely not. I actually have this off the top of my head. It was Josh Allen's clinching run in the Chiefs game, where he put us up by I think 11 at that point, 11 or 12, to kind of close that game out. And a 4th and 2, he takes it and goes around the right end and. hits the back foot just like Josh does, and
Kind of looks back and is like, chill, little boy.
yeah, it's 2 yards, guy.
Yeah. My let me get a sip real quick. My favorite play all year was a guy who really needed it. Tyler Bass, his 62-yard,
61-yard
banger. And you saw. I think the reason I think that was such a sick play was you saw all of the vets
like that.
All the vets turn around and be like, yo, the young Tyler Bass, the young Bass man, he just needed something good to happen to him. And he did. And it's turned around. It's turned around the discourse of the whole season in terms of special teams. Maybe it's turned around what kept a coach on the roster a little. I mean, we don't call for anyone's.
No, not at all. But I mean, like at the same time, it's like you might need to find somebody else in the off season to kind of get these guys going. But yeah, I mean, you saw it like that. Put confidence right back in Tyler Bass, and like I think he's missed 1 or 2.
He's quietly returned to form.
Yeah.
So that was my play of the year. Tyler,
that's a good one.
61. What was the low light of the year? Mine has to be us, our linebacking core getting run on when we played the Ravens. Remember how gassed they were and everything like that. That sowed unnecessary seeds of doubt for the trajectory of my season. That's kind of why I suck. Is I think I went a little too hard on Terrell. I went a little too hard on Bernard Spector and everything like that. So that was kind of the low light for me. What was the low light of the season for you?
Yeah, the low light of the season for me.
Maybe Houston.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say it was gonna be that Derrick Henry run. At the beginning, but that mixed with the trick play, because at that time the Bills were only down by 7.
Are you gonna be able to get him on the fourth camera?
Oh yeah.
So anyway, once again, we want to thank all of our season-long sponsors, and it starts at the top. We want to thank Iliad Apollos. If you guys haven't gotten there, you're missing out. It's a stalwart in the Western New York community. It's a stalwart in everything, all the enterprises we have. So we want to thank Iliad Apollos. We want to thank Fubo TV, massive sponsor for us, especially in year 1. Fubo TV has been absolutely fantastic. FanDuel, thank you guys so much. Sons of Erie, as always. Beauty Pools.
W.GG.
Kayak Pools.
Kayak Pools, yeah.
Lardy Construction Company.
Kenzie Tree Farm.
Altered Grounds.
Altered Ground.
And Whittle and beyond as well.
Yeah.
And the CX Chronicles.
Yep.
They've all, with the holiday season, I was just very thankful for all you guys. It is a new media network. Really just putting their money where their mouth is and supporting for the team,
helping us as
for the brand. So anyway, at this point here, we want to give out some end of season superlatives, and that comes with the backbone of Dude Champions. We want to welcome to the stage Dude Don. Don, what's up, big homie?
What's up, guys? I was not ready to go on, so we're just winging this right now, right? So
we are, but with like anything in life, you have to have wings to fly, young lad.
Right.
So anyway, we're going to start this up first, and we are going to give it out here, and I'll bring this to the screen. Guys, let's discuss real quickly. Who's the team MVP? And there is criteria to this. We'll do the team MVP. We'll do the offensive MVP and defensive MVP. To explain the rules a little further, no duplications. Once someone has used it in the 3 of us, you can't use it again. Once someone's used it, if Don uses Josh, I can't use him again. If Matt uses Vaughn,
I mean, I'm gonna say this right now. I think that we get the all-encompassed all-encompassed MVP out of the way first, and I'm gonna take that duplicate part of it right out of there. It's Josh. It's Josh. That's hands down. That award goes to him 10 times out of 10 this season, because he's taken everybody from around him and elevated their game. So
I mean, undisputed.
yeah, I mean, there's no way that this team is on the verge of being 14-3, setting all these personal records, setting all these team records. Because we saw he tied Thurman Thomas.
10 seconds on the clock.
So it's Josh.
Josh, team MVP to Don. Don, who you got for the team MVP?
All right, I'm gonna go a little off script here. I'm gonna go Brandon Bean. Right, look at the team he put together this year.
Wow.
That's a
all
good
the
one.
all the doubters this year.
Good
and
pick, lad.
I know I'm going off script here, so
No, I think that
Yeah.
trumps. I think that trumps bats.
That's
I mean,
definitely a
like,
good
look
one.
at the team he's put together over the years. It was supposed to be a down year this year.
Dude, I think he won that.
I mean, we wouldn't have Josh if it wasn't for Bean. So, he's kind of the trump
Young
card there.
gun. Great pick out of Don. Great pick. And going to me, you guys had two good ones. For me, the team MVP, consummate team guy. I am going to go with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper and his reinvigoration of this fan base, that you can have a number one wide receiver that doesn't negotiate on Twitter, that doesn't corrupt, corrupt. He's not spiking the Kool-Aid, and that there's a guy that's played high level football and he wanted to be here, and we were able to get him. And that'll be my team MVP. Even though he came in half season, what could we have done if we had him for a whole full season? I think there's a conversation there.
I definitely think there's a conversation there, and I definitely think you'll probably might see it next year. So we'll not to get
You're not seeing Diggs on the Texans next year.
He didn't even buy a house this year.
Yeah, that was a good shtick for a while. Don, you think you get Diggs on the Texans next year? No shot, right?
No shot, man.
So that'll be the fourth team. That'll be the fourth team he's going to be on in his illustrious career. Is he a ballot Hall of Famer?
No.
Don, is he a ballot Hall of Famer?
No.
No, Amari Cooper certainly is. We talked about it last week. Amari Cooper is
10,000 yards.
Yeah, Amari Cooper, 10,000 yards. They celebrated it last week in the locker room. I think obviously Josh. I think obviously Vaughn. And I think you made a shot that you think there's a conversation to have Dion in there.
I don't think him or Cooper are first ballot Hall of Famers, but I do think they are
of the pedigree
for being a Hall of Famer.
So that is the team MVP. I will give my ruling and my judgment, guys. I'm gonna give that one to Don. Don.
That was a good argument for Don. I can't. Josh, yes, he was.
As soon as he came up with it, I think you got ahead of it like a little pansy, and where it was just like, oh, yo, I'm doing Josh before these motherfuckers get ahead of it. like, where is it? Here, I'm Matt. I think I'm gonna pick Josh Allen because Josh Allen's like really great. Yeah, it's definitely Josh Allen.
All right,
So,
but
anyway.
Matt, who are you picking if it's not Josh? Like, let's say we just move Josh out.
If it's not Josh Allen, I would have to probably say
The entire offensive line.
No, I was going to
As a
say.
unit?
This guy's on a roll. Maybe we just give the show to him.
I would say Terrell Bernard.
So, and moving on, I'm going to give that W to the young dude, Don. Moving on to this, we're going to take it to the offensive MVP. The offensive MVP is that what's up there? Offensive? Yeah. Offensive MVP. Once again, what's off the board right now is Amari Cooper. What's off the board right now is Josh Allen and Brandon Bean for the offensive MVP. Don, we're going to switch up the order. Who do you have for your offensive MVP, Don?
I'm not going to go offensive line. I'm going to go Shakir. It's been unbelievably dependable for Josh, especially on third down. Just making plays after he gets the ball in his hands, the rack this year, something we were missing in years past. So just Shakir and being dependable.
Yeah, and Shakir, he had to make up for, between losing Gabe Davis and between losing the aforementioned Diggs. We were down 385 receptions just by losing those two people. And it just seems like That guy is the king of the yak, king of the rack, king of the yak, king of the relentless ball and getting upfield. Matt, pivoting to you. Who is your offensive MVP? To recap, Bean's off the board, Josh is off the board, Marty Cooper's off the board, and Shakir's
Might not shock you, and I think I'm going to steal it from you.
You dick.
Ty Johnson. I really do think. I really do think Ty Johnson is the offensive MVP this year. Everything that he was asked to do, he did and more. Whether it was get open, whether it was pick up 5 yards, whether it was pick up 3 yards, whether it was get a first down, whether it was get in the end zone from 50 yards out. Like he did everything he possibly could. Block, come in and block. As a third running back, behind somebody that was drafted, you could take offense to that as and pout and whatever, and not do the do the right things on the field. Consummate professional, and it's a huge change from years past. To definitely see a bunch of consummate professionals on this team, and all working towards one goal. All right, and I'm going to pivot to myself. My offensive MVP is Deion Dawkins. Deion Dawkins, I think he brought the tutelage to make Alec Anderson possible, tutelage to teach that bait and punch to Spencer Brown, the tutelage to take control of that offensive line with a new starter at center, a new starter at right and left guard. Osiris Torrance is playing a nasty brand of ball, and it mirrors a ton. So my pick for this team's offensive P is Deion Dawkins. Matt, we're going to let Don pick who the winner is. Don, who do you think won that segment, the offensive MVP? Let us know. Let us know now.
I got to go with you, Student. Offensive line's been unbelievable this year.
Do appreciate that. So I do.
No excuses for that one.
Yeah. And he's been there for a while. He's out there in the community doing a ton of charity work. It's with the Deion's Dreamers Foundation.
Yeah, and real quick, shout out to Aaron Coleman. Man, the offensive line coach, man, is doing a heck of a job this year, getting them all back within order and showing what the actual offense can do. Now, they lost Mitch Morris. They had to slide in Connor McGovern into center, who had maybe 100 starts at center in his entire career.
Right. There was a conversation that there might be a battle between him and Alec. And when they would plug in Alec, for that center position, Alec found a way. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a cohesive offensive line. So, Don, I do appreciate the victory. Matt, we'll let you go first on this next one.
No, it's actually you.
It's me on the next one. It's
you.
The defensive MVP. Defensive MVP for me. Stuff. I think there's a robust amount of people here. It's Bernard. It is Bernard for me. The game is dynamically different from him. He plays a brand of football that is so east-west. He allows us to play some of that robber of which you're going to see if you guys haven't seen my tweet out. It's up there. It's up in the 20,000.
It's up there.
Yeah, 20,000 or something like that. Like I said all the time. You know what? I'm not doing this shit for free. Cover one all day. Cover one rat. Cover one, which is the spy. You have the cover one robber and the cover one dog. So you're going to see all that. Those defenses it's a different fucking game when Bernard's in there, and we didn't expect him. I mean, we could have gone chasing Terrell Edmonds.
Yeah,
Tremaine
Edmonds, $18 million. I mean, you could have signed him to that and then, not be able to sign Ed.
We're getting the same output out of a totally different body type in the same defense.
Right.
Getting a better output.
Don.
Better output.
Yeah, so that's my MVP, Terrell Bernard, out of Baylor, Tulane? Baylor. Out of Baylor. So Terrell Bernard, just want to shout out to you. That is my superlative there. We'll go to, who do you want to go next? Don, who's your MVP? Let us know who it is on defense.
Got to be Benford for me. He's been unbelievable in coverage all year. I mean, there was a couple games where he, especially when we lost blanking on him all of a sudden. Rasul Douglas for a short period of time. Defense definitely took a step back, but it's been Benford all year. The stats don't show it, but they're not throwing at him.
Right, exactly.
How do you accumulate? You can't accumulate stats if they don't throw at you. So
I think the QBR rating at one point was that
it was It was in the 40s.
No, it was 39.7.
Yeah.
And what would have happened if you threw his way and just gunned the ball into the turf? That guarantees you a 32.7 QBR rating. So at some point, you could just gun it to the turf and it'd be synonymous with trying to break the balls of Christian Benford. Hey, man, I do think that's a great pick. Rounding it out and the end of season superlatives. Matt, who's your defensive MVP?
My defensive MVP is going to actually be Bobby Babich. For him to step in his first year of calling plays, to have one of the top scoring defenses in the NFL, to have, they've given up a lot of yards and everything like that, but that kind of is the essence of the, Sean McDermott defense.
Bobby Babich senior defense.
Correct.
We can do this
Jimmy
all day.
Johnson, or why can't I remember? I'm blanking. Johnston, out of Philly. Jim Johnson. Sorry.
Okay.
I was thinking Jimmy John. Whatever.
We can go all the way back to Buddy Ryan.
Yeah. No.
Right.
But no, I think Bobby Babich is the one who stepped in, took over for McDermott, made this defense even more aggressive than it was. You didn't really see them blitz a lot last year, and then you see them blitz this year.
Yeah, you got the dogs. You got
I mean, they're right there trying to,
the Tampa 2 zone, the strong mans, and you see
a lot of confusion to quarterbacks, and I mean they lead the league in turnover margin.
So why do we see so much goddamn pre-snap motion, Matt? It's because they truly don't know if we're like in a Tampa 2 or if we're in that robber. Because it's so easy to disguise. And when you can play a robber real well, when you can, Don, we talk about this in the postgame. When you can play a robber real well, you can disguise it as a cover 2, and you can disguise it and open up rush lanes because it's predicated on having total control of those skip routes out of the backfield, playing funnel with the crossing routes. And they do a great job under Bobby Babich of, when we're in man under, keeping those routes in front of them. You don't see them beating anybody, crossing over the hashes high and steamy, and putting the safety in a bad position in cover 1 because you only have 1 high. Matt, I do think that's a great call. I am going to award that one to Matt Diegert. So if anybody keeping score at home, we do have a little bit of a pickle. We have a 1 to Don, 1 to me, 1 to you.
And I have one. I have a tiebreaker.
Oh boy.
I do have a tiebreaker.
Okay. You tell me.
Better not be Von Miller sacks this season.
Oh baby.
Oh, come on, Don.
Oh baby.
Don't take too many shots at me. Come on. But no, I actually have one. And it's most improved player.
Oh, RPS between me and Don. Let's go to the wide view. RPS between me and Don. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We have scissors and we have scissors.
Go a little higher so we can see it. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Paper.
Rock,
oh my God.
paper, scissors, shoot.
We have rock. You had rock.
I had scissors.
You had scissors.
No, I had paper. Paper.
You had paper.
Oh,
he
okay.
had rock, or he had scissors.
So I have to go first. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Most improved.
Most improved.
Alec Anderson, no doubt. Just give it to me. Anybody questioning that?
I'd like to hear Don first, but
Don, go ahead.
Connor McGovern
it's not a bad one either.
Not a bad one. It's not mine though.
stepped in. I don't know. It's close.
Anybody in the chat, if they want to get in here and give us a tiebreaker. Matt,
Jake.
Jake, just let us know who the tiebreaker is. Matt, who's the most improved?
I'm actually gonna go DeMar. He goes from having the interruption in his career to now being kind of an integral part in this defense. Playing safety. Had pretty good year this year. The two interceptions. Was leading the league, up there and leading the team in tackles and things like that because he comes down and plays in the box.
Okay.
He's very, yes, he had the Derrick Henry run where he took the bad angle, but he didn't have a lot of blemishes on, and he by the end of this season, of his season, because I'm sure he's going to be playing in the playoffs. I truly just think that DeMar is, most improved on the team.
All right. Without voting for yourself, Don, who do you think won that one most improved? Without voting for yourself.
I got to go with Matt. I was so down on DeMar this year. He's just stepped up. I don't think he's done anything exceptionally great, but he's done his job.
No, he's been solid, and he what, we were like, oh, Jordan Poyer this, Jordan Poyer that, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. Both Taylor Rapp and DeMar Hamlin stepped in and kept the back end of the defense just as solid as it's been. Maybe not as calculating as it has been or anything like that. So I mean, it's just really, I don't know. I mean, I just really think that it. I don't know. I just think that DeMar has done very, very well this year, and he's they've really, kind of brought the back end of that defense and brought some show that they didn't need to have.
Really struggling here, and I really have not said much just because I've been enjoying the struggle too much. All right, so let's ask Don the same question that we asked each other here. Don, what was the most positive play you saw all year? The most affirmating play of your fandom. And the other side of the coin, what was the most disappointing thing? Matt, if you want to recap your most positive play, it was Josh's run against the Chiefs. Mine was Tyler Bass's 61-yard field goal. Don, what was your play like? Your play that you just loved all year?
It's got to be the James Cook 60+ yard run in the snow.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I enjoyed that play. Right, they ran the duo concept to the right side, the same thing that Derrick Henry gashed us on.
Sure.
Took it to the house. Big play in the snow against a 49er team that we weren't really sure what we were going to get, although we were coming out of the bye. So honorable mention to the Amari Cooper, Josh Allen lateral play.
We said you couldn't use that. That was actually a stipulation. You couldn't use
that's
that,
fair.
So we already shouted that out. But because that's probably one of the coolest plays you'll ever see.
It's unreal.
Josh Allen catching a pass from himself that wasn't even thrown by him. In that game in itself, scored a rushing, passing, and receiving touchdown. The first quarterback to do that, or the only quarterback to do that. Multiple times this year he's done those firsts. You had that. You had the next game where he played against the Rams, rushing 3 touchdowns, passing. No quarterback has done that since 1954 when Otto Graham did it. So I mean, it just really, it's definitely something that you're seeing all the time from Josh and doing this, and Rex Ryan says it all the time on the morning show. He is truly the best football player playing right now.
Don, what do you want to see here? We're gonna have a longtime guest for us, Coach Fuller, coming on just in a second. He's gonna talk Dolphins with us. Don, wouldn't it be the most fucking hysterical fucking thing if the Dolphins snuck into this? It'd be awesome if the Patriots won. It'd be awesome if the Patriots won and just did themselves. It's like falling in reverse.
Yeah.
And then the Dolphins just sneak in. So we're gonna have Coach Fuller on. What do you think about the Dolphins sneaking in? And realistically, we'd be probably the ones to play them, right?
We would be the ones to play them.
I would almost. This is going to be a hot take. I'd almost feel better playing the Bengals than the Dolphins. If Tua is healthy, beating a team 3 times in the same year is really, really difficult.
No, it definitely is, but
we did it. We've done it before.
Yeah,
we did it. We almost lost to We almost lost to Mike White.
Skylar Thompson.
I mean, that's how. What do you think that Tua's not going to play tomorrow? I'll go to you, Matt. You first. Tua's not playing. But he also made such a bold statement, almost like he's super Tua, that like, oh, if we get in the playoffs, I'll definitely play, no question. Well, then what's the conversation you're not playing this week?
I think they're worried about his hip.
He's got
because it's the same hip that he hurt at Alabama.
Same hip that Jalen Hurts hurt at Alabama too.
Also, same injury that Bo Jackson had that ended his career.
Dude, let's get a couple like hip flexor machines in somewhere, in somewhere in roll tide. Roll tide. How about we roll out the hips? Yeah. Maybe that should be the next thing. Don, what do you think about who do you want to face of the potentials that we could? The potentials being, I guess it'd be
the Broncos, Dolphins, Bengals in that order.
It'd be Burrowhead.
Probably.
Which I don't. Why are we still calling it Burrowhead?
We shouldn't. We should. It's the dumbest thing in the world.
And I think they've lost 2 out of 3, right? Yeah. So who do you want to see us going into the playoffs here? Just looking forward, as and we don't do it on the show, but in looking forward, Matt.
I mean, we can this is an exception week because the season's over. The Bills are locked up too. They can't go up. They can't go down. It's basically a bye in itself with a game still happening. So we're allowed to look 1 week forward right now. But after that, there's no exception anymore.
So Matt, who do you want to see?
Me personally?
Yeah.
I want to see the Broncos. I hope they beat the Chiefs. I really do. I hope they beat the Chiefs. I don't want to see the Dolphins. I don't want to see the Bengals. But I think the easiest of the 3 truly is going to be the Dolphins.
Okay. Don, what are you thinking here?
It's the Broncos for me too. Their defense has been slacking kind of lately, and their offense, I mean, McDermott's record against rookie quarterbacks is unbelievable. So I think you just factor those 2 things into it.
I want to see Aaron Rodgers just shit his pants one more time.
Oh, against the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Or on Sunday?
I mean, for him, can we talk?
What if he never gets to 500 touchdowns? What if he gets stuck at 499 and nobody wants to?
And he retires?
He doesn't retire. Nobody wants to sign him.
I'll do it again. I mean, yeah. I mean, people are going to want to sign him, but to the role of which he wants to play, I don't know. So
I truly could not believe that last week that there was a New York, I think it was Rich Cimini.
I don't know.
He's like, oh, the Bills might want to double cover Devontae Adams because they're going to be Aaron Rodgers is going to be looking for a Devontae Adams all day for that 500 touchdown.
I mean, there's no shot next year they're both there.
No, I think they said they were getting rid of him.
Who's they?
The Jets, like front office, or
is it CD?
Honestly, I don't know who's running the front office. So
CD, it's CD, right?
Who?
CD? No.
Who?
CD?
Who?
No. CD's nuts on your chin.
But Aaron Rodgers, 112 passing yards last week, 44 passing.
So yeah. Don, as we wait for Coach Full right here, and we burn a little bit of time here. What's it been like? You're at the helm right now of Do Champions right now. You're the behind the scenes guy. You're kind of keeping everything running. What is this year taught you? And talk about you kind of throwing yourself into the fire after you met Matt and I at the team dinner, and we were like, "Yo, I wanna move and shake with the guys that move and shake." What is this year meant to you?
It's been great the last.
Make it brief. We got Coach Fuller.
Yeah, it's been great. I really appreciate you guys just giving me I don't want to say the chance to do this. It's just been a blast. Meet you guys, get involved with the Bills, which is arguably one of the most passionate things I have in my life. So I'm just excited to see where this goes in 2025 and beyond.
Absolutely, and one of the things that we pride ourselves here at Do Champions is that we have a robust crew of people that support us, and one of those does come from a different fan base. It comes from the Miami Dolphins, and we'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Coach Jim Fuller. Mr. Fuller,
what's going on?
What's going on, my man?
What's up, guys?
Dude, you got that Fitzy beard still going. Do you ever get mistaken? I know you were a quarterback for a long time. You had your shot in the league. Do you ever get stopped as a fan? And will you be offended when Ryan Fitzpatrick eventually maybe gets to the NFL Hall of Fame and he's inducted as a Buffalo Bill?
No, I won't get offended.
So I have to walk you through this, Coach. The 8-8 Miami Dolphins are taking on the Jets. The New York dumpster fire. And you guys still have a shot. That game is at home. You're kicking off at 1, or what is it? I guess it'd be 4:25. That game is on CBS. A victory for the Jets is absolutely. You're not having a conversation unless you win that game. A Denver Broncos loss, who are playing the Chiefs, kind of gets you in, right? Is that the scenario as I know it? With a Chiefs loss and a win. Talk me through this right now, Coach, if you could. I know your frustration. I know on paper, this season should never have been what it was for you guys. There's no one more impassioned with you. Where are you at if you sneak in? Do you think that has legs? Where are you at if you don't? With the fandom and where you at with Tua's comments today about acknowledging he's not playing, but kind of standing on an apple crate being like, no, it's my game next week if we win. Those three questions I think are robust enough, and I'll let you take over.
Well, if you're thinking from the beginning of the season, when he ran into the brick wall that we know with the name of DeMar Hamlin, and he kind of put us in this situation. This is, if for some reason the Broncos lose the game tomorrow and we screw this up and Huntley can't get past the Jets and Tua sat out, oh man.
Where's that leave you?
Set the whole building on fire.
Really?
Set the whole building on fire. We can't keep doing this with Tua, man.
Now, when you say set the building on fire, you came on the podcast about 3 weeks ago, and you said Greer's cool. You said McDaniels deserves another one. When you say set the building on fire, have you pivoted from that original statement a couple weeks ago? Because we know this game is dynamic; it's not static. Your opinion is allowed to change.
Yeah, I think a lot. No, yeah, it's going to stay the same. I think for another year, they're not going to get rid of Greer. They're not going to get rid of Mike McDaniel. Definitely not getting rid of Mike McDaniel.
Not getting rid of Tua.
Yeah, they're not getting rid of Tua, but I'm telling you what, I'm drafting a quarterback pretty high, at least a third rounder.
Yeah, we thought it'd be absolutely hysterical. The Patriots playing the Patriot way and beating the Bills and falling in reverse and negotiating themselves out of that first round pick. Man, what do you make of this season personally for you? And where are your emotions on Sunday if you get in? Do you think you can make an impact in trying to make a formidable shot to kind of build on the energy of getting that playoff win?
You know what? A lot of people might think I'm crazy, but if the Dolphins are going to get in, the easier path for the Dolphins would be to go to Buffalo, play them a third time. You know, it was tight the last time we played them.
Sure it was.
Play them the third time. If we could somehow get past Buffalo, I don't want to go to the Ravens because we don't match up with those dudes. We don't match up, but I'll tell you the team we do probably match up with the best in the playoffs is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So that is the path I would want to take if we get in. It's not going to happen. I'm not betting the house on that. I think we're probably going to screw this up. I think we're going to. My prediction is we're probably going to lose to the Jets. That's my prediction.
Is that predicated on past performance kind of being indicative of future results? Because last year, I mean, but you bring up a good point, man. I'm going to almost mute myself on the previous thought. It's hard to win in the NFL, Matt. We talk about it all the time, correct?
Yeah.
Don, it's hard to win in the NFL, correct?
Very difficult.
You know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times? So maybe Coach has got a point here.
How hard is it to beat a team 7 straight times?
I mean,
it is what it is. At some point, the streak's got to end. Why not? We beat the Jets, the Broncos lose, we go to Buffalo and beat them.
I think that is a pit in my stomach, Matt.
I have no worry about it whatsoever.
Okay, Don, pit in your stomach or no?
I'm looking at the weather forecast this week. Can they overcome?
Oh, so weather? It is. No, it is. If he's checking out the weather forecast,
I know. I was more just curious. Like, can they get in? Can they overcome the weather first?
Coach Full, you went down to Hard Rock Stadium recently. What's the vibe down there with the fans? Is there getting a certain amount of unrest of being on the precipice of success, but never exiting a season feeling like you are successful? Because I know that's kind of where you live. You played high level ball. Advancement in the improvement category. Does amazing things for culture and for predictive acumen about where you're trying to be. Are you sick of the stallouts and just kind of inching in sometimes to the playoffs? And
Miami's fans, we have a huge fan base nationwide.
Yeah, sure you do. You're
and nationally and worldwide. We're one of the top teams worldwide as a fan base. And
Missile 305.
Yeah, the fans they're ready to be over the hump, man. It's been a long time, and you get a lot of us older fans. You have a newer fan base right now that's coming in. This group that kind of doesn't like Tua. You hear it. Oh, we need to trade. We need to get a different guy. That's the newer fan base. That's the younger guys. This 23, 24-year-old kids. Where we were around, us older group, the more diehard fan base that's been around for a while, that grew up on Marino, we went through having Trent Green and Beck and
OJ,
Fiedler, Ray Lucas,
yes. So, you can name along all 20.
You even got
30 of those guys with me. Like I remember, I forget half of those guys, but Brian Greasy and. Goodness.
Didn't you guys have Zach linebacker Zach Thomas,
yeah, Jason Taylor, yeah, but the fan base, the older fan base, we're ready to come back to glory, man. I'm telling you, I know what you Bills fans go through, and you know what, if we don't get in, I hope you guys do go win a Super Bowl.
Oh man,
we appreciate that, as fans, for you, other fan bases to be like, hey, it'd be cool to see you guys win a Super Bowl, actually,
Yeah.
It'd
be great.
You got to get Josh Allen at least one. Jim Kelly went out without any, so.
Yeah, and
come on.
You do think. What I love is I've hated Dolphin fans on Twitter, but I think there's now a mutual respect where there isn't that grandiose like Keith McClendon like Twitter account, which I don't know who runs that. That is wild.
And that's the thing. Like,
I think there's a mutual respect and even being able to have these conversations that we're rooting for not the Patriots.
Well, and that's more what I was going to get into is it's more of there's more synergy, unless the Dolphins and Bills are playing each other, minus the few trolls, we'll say. But I could say much meaner things about them, but we'll just call them trolls right now.
Yeah.
But there's other than when we play the Dolphins, there seems to be a lot of synergy to just because the two fan bases know a lot about football.
It's hard to beat a team 3 times, dog.
Well, at one point it was, the Bills and the Dolphins at one point were the biggest rival in the NFL.
Yeah, you had Russ Salvatore going down there and having his yacht parties,
Oh, yeah.
It was all good. So, Coach Fuller, as we wrap this one up, we definitely want to thank you for coming on. We'll pivot to your game. We always talk to one player, and we'll keep it. You can talk to your Dolphins player where we look into the camera. We
Before that, I do want to just go through one quick thing with him.
Fuck me. Who cares?
So I'm going to ask you these couple of questions here. For the Dolphins specifically, team MVP, offensive MVP, defensive MVP, and most improved.
Can't duplicate.
Okay, so defensive MVP is no. I'm not even going to go to him. So I'll go with defensive MVP. I'm going to go with Calais Campbell. That dude is a monster, man. That dude is a nut. That's the most intense football player I've ever seen in my life, ever.
Yeah, him and Brian, their attitudes. Him and Brian Cushing are eerily similar in terms of their intensity.
Yeah, man, that dude's crazy. Offensive MVP is probably Devon Achane. Year 2, he did his
doing
thing.
a lot.
Yeah, that kid's a beast, man. He's little, so he's not really running between the tackles very much, but he reminds me of Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
I will say when he does run through when he does run between tackles, he's so quick through there they don't even touch him. So
yeah, he doesn't even. I mean, you're lucky to get a tap on his hip when you get the first time the first time someone has a chance to get his tap on his hip, he's already at the second level.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. He's already gone.
So now you keep going. You're most
What do
improved.
we got? Team MVP was
Team
the last
MVP and most improved.
one? So most improved from the beginning of the season to now, and I think he has a shot at defensive rookie of the year is Chop Robinson. You know, before the season, I swear to God, I was like,
"You're big.
Please don't do it. Please don't go after him. Please.
You were big. You were big. You were like pronounced. Like, what is going on?"
And I'm a Penn State guy, and he could never get home. He could never get home when he was in college.
Were you Gannon?
Never could get home.
Did you go to Gannon?
Say that again.
Did you go to Gannon?
Yeah.
Gannon University.
Yeah, Gannon University. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So PA schools, so you die.
Right. Exactly.
The Knights rooting on the Lions.
Yeah.
So
who's at the beginning of the season, man? I just wasn't impressed by him, but yeah, that kid's gonna be something. He reminds me of Von Miller.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Von Miller's a sore subject over here, Matt.
Oh
Matt,
yeah, well, not
Matt at
not
the beginning
your
of the
Von
season.
Miller.
No, Matt. Yes, Matt. Well, that's actually predicated on Matt's bet at the beginning of the season. I know you're familiar with Thigh Doctor. They put on a bet that Matt said errantly that he would get 10 sacks. So at some point, Matt has to do a thigh dance for the good doctor.
Well, but I am going to say, you know, he has those 4 other games where he isn't out. He may.
Okay, just so you know, for the users at home, I have muted Matt. We're not going to talk to him anymore, and we're going to wrap this up quickly. Who's your most improved on the Dolphins? Sure.
Oh well, my most valuable player is
sorry,
Zach Sealer. That kid.
Really?
You know what?
Walk me through that.
He's not the most popular guy we have on, but he's the motor of our defense. Look at Christian Wilkins. That was the one move Chris Greer made by not signing Wilkins and giving Zach Sealer the money.
Hey, that's what we just talked about with Terrell Bernard. Us not going to chase Tremaine Edmonds. And us finding beauty in somebody who was already on the roster.
Also, too, you know, I mean, that kind of brings up the whole thing. What's MVP stand for? It's not best player. It's most valuable
to your team.
Most valuable, yeah.
So let's end this right here. What I was saying before, Coach Fuller, you can talk to somebody on the Dolphins. The 3 of us are going to talk to somebody on the Bills. Wish them well in this game. Once always, this is the Third Mandible Podcast, Do Champions. We're sponsored by Sons of Erie. We're sponsored by Fubo TV. We're sponsored by FanDuel, Fat Boy Surf Club, Beauty Pools, Kayak Pools, Mackenzie Tree Farm, Altered Grounds, CX Chronicles,
W.GG,
and W.GG.
Iliad Apollos.
Yep, Iliad Apollos. Matt, who you're talking to, buddy? Talk right in that camera and talk loud.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm actually going to talk right to the entire team.
Okay.
I'm going to go off a little bit of what you had before.
Sure.
Play safe. Take it easy. Play healthy. You guys got to come out of this game. Whether it's the Broncos, the Dolphins, or the Bengals, you need the entire team. So just stay healthy. Wish you guys well.
Very good. Don, who are you talking to?
I'm going to also talk to the team, but a different group on the team.
Sure.
The backups, go win yourself a job somewhere. Have fun out there this week. Maybe not the second string backups. Those guys are important for us, but third string, fourth stringers, if you're getting out there, go win a job for next year. Go win yourself a contract. Enjoy it.
Very good. Coach Fuller, who are you talking to from those mighty Miami Dolphins?
Man, I'm talking to Calais Campbell, bro. Hey, listen, man. You've been a Dolphin for 1 year. I wish I could put you in the Ring of Honor, dude. You're a monster of a player. Enjoyed watching you all year long. Can't wait to see you play one more game for the Dolphins. Let's get that win, baby.
And I'm going to be talking right now to Mr. Osiris Torrance. We don't talk about you enough. Hey, good energy. Get the good reps in. Get the good rest in. Okay? And that is going to wind us up. I do want to thank Coach Fuller for coming on. Yo, man, you're the man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Good to be seen, man. Good to be seen, Don. Good to be seen, Coach Cole.
Hey, good luck Sunday.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.
We'll see you guys out. That is the Do Champions Podcast, Third and Manageable. Catch us tomorrow for the Hockey Hotline. Catch us on Sunday. Catch us on a Bills, hopefully, loss or win or whatever.
Either way,
suits us.
we'll see you on the post game. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Do Champions Hockey Hotline. And Jake, we'll see you tomorrow night on the Buffalo